Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Write Ambitions podcast, where I talk about word usage, grammar, writing, and editing. I'm your host, Jenny Watts, and I want to thank you for joining me. Today, I would like to focus on writing. In the last episode, I talked about using style sheets for writing and editing. Style sheets help authors and editors by listing out specific terms that are used in a manuscript, how things are spelled, what style guide is being followed, like Chicago or AP, and other important items. Using a style sheet helps the writing be consistent and can save a lot of time. So if you haven't checked out the last episode, episode 11, on style sheets, please do so. You can also go to my website, writeambitions.com, and download your very own style sheet template that you can use for your writing. Then, with your handy style sheet close by, you can start writing. In episode 4, I discussed ways that you can make your writing pop. And those ways include varying your sentence length, so using combinations of short, medium length, and long sentences to help your words flow. Also using active voice as much as possible, and resisting the urge to overuse certain punctuation marks, like exclamation points, parentheses, and colons. Those can get really distracting for the reader if there are too many of them. And they can also lose their emphasis if used too often. So revisit that episode for more thoughts on those. Then couple that with the information I'm about to give you now on making your writing more concise, and you'll be sitting pretty. So, okay, let's get down to business. Here are some ways you can write more concisely. Sometimes when we write, we think we're adding clarity by expounding on a thought or idea, when in reality, we're adding unnecessary words. So a lot of these unnecessary words are redundant words like basic essentials. Both of those words mean the same thing in context, so you could just as easily say the basics or the essentials. There's no need for both words. Redundant words and phrases can occur frequently if a writer isn't careful. For instance, you could write, Joe is now employed at a golf course working as a caddy. The words is now employed can be changed to just one word, works. Joe works. And later on in the sentence, instead of saying working as a caddy, we can just say as a caddy. So we've gone from Joe is now employed at a golf course working as a caddy to Joe works at a golf course as a caddy. Boom. So much simpler, same meaning, more concise wording. Sometimes the words get repeated in the same sentence. The same words can get repeated in a sentence. This is great if they're used for emphasis. You see that a lot in speeches, or hear that a lot in speeches, I should say, technically. Other times, the sentence just gets awkward if the same words appear more than once. Take this sentence, for example. My last car, the Lamborghini, was a fast car. Okay, this may be a ridiculous example because if my last car had in fact been a Lamborghini, I would totally use the word car twice for emphasis. But really, since the first part of the sentence already includes the word car, there's no need to state it again at the end of the sentence. So instead of saying, my last car, the Lamborghini, was a fast car, we could say, my last car was fast. Better yet, my Lamborghini was fast. Boom, so much simpler. Same meaning, more concise wording. And honestly, you don't even have to use the whole sentence there. You could just say, my Lamborghini, and that's all you really have to say. So anyway, how else can we make our writing more concise? We can eliminate empty or inflated words and phrases. Empty words are filler words that don't really add anything to the meaning of the sentence. Some examples of empty words and phrases are very, really, generally, practically, virtually, in my opinion, and I think that. So those are empty words. Inflated phrases are phrases that use more words than necessary. Take, for example, due to the fact that. How about we just say because? Here are some other examples of inflated phrases and ways that you can make them more concise. Instead of saying by means of or by way of, just say by or via. At the present time, you can simplify to now or currently. Instead of in the event that, just say if. If X, then Y. For the purpose of, you can just say for. And in order to, you can just say to. You get the point. These are phrases that are really common when we speak, so it's natural to want to write them as well. But you can cut them down to just 1 or 2 words for clarity. Boom, so much simpler, same meaning, more concise wording. More concise writing also includes removing indirect sentence structures. So, what do I mean by that? These sentences usually have weak verbs like is, was, and were. So, instead of writing something like, we were dancing the entire night, we could just write, we danced the entire night. Changing the verb to an active verb helps make the sentence stronger and it eliminates wordiness. Boom, so much simpler, same meaning, much more concise. So let's recap. To make your writing more concise, eliminate redundant words and phrases, remove empty and inflated words and phrases, and use strong verbs that reduce wordiness. And don't forget to check out episodes 4 and 11 on ways to make your writing pop and on using style sheets for your writing. Put them all together and your writing will be much stronger. So that's all for today. I want to thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and at writeambitions.com. Join me next time for some tips on writing dialogue. I'll see you then.